Some important names back this week. It must be nice to have those names back in the side.
Yeah, it is. We've got a bit more experience in the side this week with CT and Sully and Gutho back in, and obviously the halves are more experienced than the two we played the other day. So I know the boys are looking forward to it.
Can you just talk to us a little bit about the conversations that you had with Kyle when told him obviously the Cape was hurt and he'd be coming back, and what you want to see from him this week?
Yeah, look, they're private conversations, but I was really clear on what Kyle and Acco need to work on at training to get themselves back in the team. And you obviously saw that we lost young Reedy during the week with the finger injury, and Lycan got an opportunity and didn't take it. So I'm going with Kyle and Acco this week, and they're really clear on what they need to do for the team.
Has Kyle said to you, shown to you and the group that he's ready to make his jersey his own this week?
Both the halves have trained really well for the last 2 weeks, so they'll go out there and put their best foot forward. Just
on Kate, could you just expand a little bit on the injury? It's a finger, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a clearer timeline yet on when he might be back?
Yeah, look, they're talking around that 8 to 12 week mark, so it's got to do with a little tendon at the top of his finger, and I know Angus Crichton cut his finger off, but halves and ball players need their fingers, so it's a big part of the club moving forward. So we just thought it was the best thing to do was get it operated on and get it right for the future.
Dean, you said after the game last week you've seen some improvements at training. What do you need to see? Well, how do you think you need to get that to transfer onto the field?
Look, we have been training well, and it hasn't been transferring, which is frustrating for everyone involved, but we've come up with a plan, and we're going to stick to it and see it through, and I'm sure you'll see a better performance this weekend.
What are you looking for? What's the one or two key areas for you that you need to see from the boys?
Look, I'll speak to the individuals. I just want them to do their absolute best. I'm not worried about Penrith. Penrith are a quality team with some quality players. I'm worried about the Blakes that get the opportunity this weekend to run out is doing their best, and the last 2 weeks we haven't had that.
Obviously big news for the club during the week. Look, Metcalf's arrival next year, obviously your focus is just on this week, but what does that do for the club going forward?
Probably gives the fans a little bit of hope, to be honest. We've got Philip Sammy and Keon and Scott Drinkwater and now Metcalf. They're 4 quality signings, but as you touched on before, that's a long way away. That's November, so my job is to try to get the best out of the players that we've got here, and we've had a good week. We're playing obviously for pride, and Cookie's 250th game, and I know how much he means to this playing group, so I expect us to come out hard.
I must say, it says positive things about this club though, I guess, that what they're being told and shown is something that really quality players want to be a part of.
Yeah, they see the vision that Tim and Benny Cray have got for the club moving forward, and they want the opportunity to turn this club around. It's a great club, and it's been through some tough times, especially recently, but there's a lot of good things happening behind closed doors as well.
You mentioned Damien there. He said during the week that despite everything that's happened since he's been here, he's had the time of his life and he'd do it all again. I guess, how important is it for you to have a veteran like that in your squad who seems like emotionally really keeps his team lifted every week?
Yeah, what Cookie does is Cookie never gives up, and that's why all the players that he played with at Canterbury and the Dragons and South, they love playing with him because he's just that type of player, and he showed so much resilience in his career. He didn't really make a name for himself to 24, 25, and then to go on to have the career that he's had just shows you what type of person he is. And we had his family in this morning, done a little presentation, but the players need to go out and make sure that they focus on their own job, and we put in a good performance for Cookie.
And you knew it was going to be a challenge, right? Taking this job on. Has it been more difficult than you thought, or you knew what you're getting yourself into?
No, I knew what I was getting myself into, and I knew it's a big challenge and the situation we're in, but I'm not going to shy away from that.
Is it? I realise the challenge is bigger, but from 2020, do you feel different within yourself in the way that you're approaching things, doing things, more confident this time around?
Yeah, look, I think every situation's unique in its own way, and I think this time I'm in a good position to help these players and support these players through this tough time, and we've come up with a plan and we're going to stick to it. We're going to see it through.
Good?
Okay. Cheers, thank you. Sweet.
Thanks.
All good. Thanks.